This lesson, we are going to learn an extremely important concept in embedded system programming called interrupt. Perhaps the first question when you learn interrupt is, what is an interrupt? An interrupt is a signal sent to a processor to interrupt the current process. So the system pauses current task and begins working on a more urgent and important task with higher priority. An example is when you are typing an essay while listening to the music using computer. When you press a key on the keyboard, the computer does not wait till the music ends to respond to your keyboard request. It accepts the request right away and then displays this letter on the screen. This is an example of using the concept of interrupt. There are two types of interrupts: the hardware interrupt and the software interrupt. Hardware interrupt is created by an external input device like tactile buttons, the mouse, or keyboard. A software interrupt is also called a processor-generated interrupt, that generated by the processor executing a specific instruction. This includes divided by zero exception and the general fault or page fault exception. These are beyond the scope of the class. For this class, we focus on the hardware interrupt only. The definition of interrupt is: an interrupt is the automatic transfer of software execution in response to the hardware event that is asynchronous with the current software execution. Asynchronous means whenever the interrupt occurs, it transfers instantly. There are many reasons for using interrupts. System can react faster to external events. System can run faster. Also, this is the key to design real-time system called RTS. The opposite to interrupt method is called polling method. All the design we had so far are made using polling method. Remember, there's an infinite loop, that while of 1. The loop checks the switch state, check conditions, and run a few tasks. This loop runs over and over again. If you wrote a very long code, and there are many tasks that need to be checked, it takes a long time to reach to a specific task. For example, if the game console system is designed using polling method, whenever we press a key or the joystick, it takes a long time for the console to respond. I'm sure you don't want to use this console anymore. You won't have fun for playing Call of Duty or Street Fighter. Here is another example explaining why you need to use interrupt for certain design. One of our labs is to make a counting system. This counter can count from 0 to 9 and display the numbers on a 7-segment display. When the button is pressed, system pauses. If the button is not pressed, system counts. As you can see, this counter does not reach to the condition until all numbers are counted. This code is inside the while loop, so this problem will occur in every loop. If we follow this flowchart to write the code, our program will not meet the design requirement. Here I have an analogy shows the difference between a system using interrupt and a system without using interrupt. We have 3 rows of long tables in the classroom. Each row has many students. Today is our lab day, so our class is on the tutoring mode instead of lecturing mode. As always, I help students one-on-one, peer-to-peer. Now the lab begins. I approach to the first student, Jerry. Jerry, do you have any questions? Do you need help? Jerry is very polite. He stands up and answers me. No, I don't have any question. Then I leave Jerry and move to the second student. Hey Casey, do you have any question? Casey answered, no, I have no question. Then I move to the third, fourth, one by one until I finish asking every student. And then I return back to the first student, do the same thing again. It is like an infinite loop. You can see how efficient I am. I'm so dumb and will be very exhausted at the end. Instead of helping students this way, I can handle the class differently. Before the lab starts, I tell the class, whoever have question, raise your hand or call me first. If no one has question, I just sit down and use computer to watch more YouTube videos or perhaps checking Tinder. Oops. Let's say we do have a student has question. She raised a hand and asked me, Professor Zhang, I have a question. I lift my head and answer, what is your question? She says, blah 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 blah. This is an analogy for a system that is designed using interrupt. You can see this method is way more efficient than the previous method.